Hello, everybody. How are you? My name is Juan Piscina. Thank you so much for tuning into our YouTube channel, Piscina Music. Today, I'm doing another tutorial, keyboard tutorial, on an elevation worship song called Available. Powerful song, wonderful. I love the declaration. The theme of the song is about answering the call of God and just telling Him, you know what, God, doesn't matter how hard it may seem, doesn't matter, how weak I could be, doesn't matter what my flaws are. I am available to do your will. And I love that declaration. It's definitely a declaration over my life. We're not perfect. We walk this world. We walk the Christian walk not because we're perfect, but we walk it to be perfected in His love. And this song, has definitely hit my core because I have been one of those that said, you know what, God, I hear you. I say yes to you. I'm available despite my flaws, despite my insecurities, and despite you just knowing for the fact that God could choose somebody else. And I'm humbled that He calls me. And He has not just called me because many are called and few are chosen, but He has chosen me, all because I said I'm available. So enough of that. Let's dive in. So the song is in F sharp major. So that is F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B natural, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp. Why not call it F natural? Why call it E sharp? Because when you write this down theoretically, it's very awkward and to have two different notes have the same note name. Meaning, if you already have an F sharp, proper notation is that you do not have what you call, for example, the T or the leading tone be called an F. When you read in it, you're reading, when you're going up, your brain automatically assumes this to be some type of form of an E. So this is E sharp because a sharp, you raise up the note by a half step. So E raised up a half step is an F natural. So in the key of F sharp major, the seventh note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is an F natural. But in the key of F sharp, it's called technically an E sharp. Going back to F sharp. If that made no sense, just leave it in the comments. I'll try to make a video explaining in harmonics and explaining the proper way of how to actually write your scales and your chords when it's involving it being in a specific key. Trust me, it makes your life a lot simpler when you think like that. All right, so let's dive in. So this song is so simple. It only uses 4 chords. 4 chords, and this is what they are. You have an F sharp major, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp. Another chord that they use is a B chord. That's a B, D sharp, F sharp. Another chord is a C sharp. So that would be C sharp, E sharp, G sharp. All right. And then the last chord that they use is a D sharp minor. D sharp, F sharp, and A sharp. Alrighty then. Hopefully that was easy to understand right there. So, moving on. Okay, the intro starts like this. You're going to have 4, it's a 4 bar. So, first chord is going to be this B natural. This B chord. That's on the first measure. Second measure is going to be an F sharp major. Third measure is going to be a D sharp minor. You guys know me. I like to add my flat 7s in there, so that makes it an D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp. And it goes back on the 4th measure, back to B. So when you repeat it, you sustain again that B, going back to first measure. And you repeat it F sharp, D sharp minor, and then B. Okay? So, how does the intro work? It basically follows the melody of the verses. And one thing I do want to mention, the intro is the same exact chord structure that you will have for verse 1, verse 2, and verse 3. So, how does that melody go? It goes like this. So I'm going to play it once, and then then you guys can see, and then I'm going to slow it down so that you guys can practice it in a slower pace. But before I dive into that, I think I forgot to mention the BPM that I recommend. I recommend it at 80 BPM, and it is at 4/4 time. So let's dive in. Okay, so this is how the intro goes. 1, 2, 3, and. Now that last part, I just added that. Okay, so let's break it down, slow it down. So you play that B chord. You can hold it. I don't really like to, just like to keep it open with the first note and the fifth, make it into B, F sharp, because if you add that D sharp, you're gonna really muddy up the sound. So it's best to have it a little bit more open, especially if you're using some type of pads. So that's what I like to do. And anyways, on the right hand, your melody, you're already adding that D sharp, so you don't really need to add that D sharp in there and double it. So this is how it goes slow. 1, 2, 3, and. And then you repeat it. So it's very simple. You can repeat that part again if you guys want to learn the melody. Or if you're very good at figuring out the melody on the keyboard, it's just the same exact verse melody for the intro. But something really neat that I want to explain. So after they do that twice, that intro melody, they repeat that 4-bar twice. So when they do it the second time, they do not go directly into verse 1. They add an extra measure. So after that B, you're going to count. So let's go from the D sharp. Fourth measure, 2, 3, 4. Extra measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then verse 1 starts. Very important. So that extra measure, so that you guys know that's going to be reoccurring. When does it happen? It happens in between the intro and verse 1. Also happens in between verse 1 and the chorus. And then from the chorus to verse 2, there's an extra measure. And then lastly, from instrumental 3, which I will show you guys what that is later. In between instrumental 3 and verse 3, there is that extra measure. And then from verse 3, in between the chorus, there is that extra measure. The only time where you do not have the extra measure is when you go from verse 2 to the chorus, or chorus to instrumental 2, or instrumental 2 to the bridge, and bridge to instrumental 3. So if that made no sense, don't worry about it. Just watch when I'm putting up the chord progressions. I'm gonna detail it as best as I can to how the song began to the song where it ends, where it started to where it ends. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna go through the whole song. So just see those 4 chords that I told you in the beginning: the F sharp major, the B major, the D sharp minor, and the C sharp major. Those are the only 4 chords that the song uses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the beginning of the song, and I'm going to do a full run through on how the song, how we would play it, how I would play it. And now I'm not going to do the whole run through on how they did it, because after a while, when the song technically finished, they still continued with the song. So I'm going to go through all the verses, all the choruses, the times that it's been approached, and then all you have to do is just, if you want to learn a part, just go to that part and play the chords that I signal there. All right, so here we go from the intro. Narrow as the road may seem, I follow where your spirit leads. Broken as my life may be, I will give you every piece. I hear you call, I am available. I say, yes, Lord, I am available. Here I am with open hands, counting on your grace again. Less of me and more of you. I just wanna see you move. I hear you call, I am available. I say, yes, Lord, I am available. I hear you call, I am available. I say, yes, Lord, I am available. Here I am, here I am. You can have it all, you can have it all. Here I am, here I am. You can have it all, you can have it all. Here I am, here I am. You can have it all, you can have it all. Here I am, here I am. You can have it all, you can have it all. Here I am, here I am. You can have it all, you can have it all. Here I am, here I am. You can have it all, you can have it all. For the one who gave me life, nothing is a sacrifice. Use me how you want to, God. Have your throne within my heart. I hear you call, I am available. I say, yes, Lord.